Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Mai, and today's video is part 2 of my Enchanted Village series, let's call it, where pretty much I am making 4 houses on the same lot, each relating to one different occult type. My first one was a fairy house, which we technically don't have fairies, but a girl can dream. And today's is going to be a vampire house. And before I get started, I really just want to thank you all so much for 200 subscribers. This week has just been like emotional whiplash between getting to 200 subscribers, my move, as some of you maybe know, I am moving right now, and I also got to see the Eras tour last weekend, so it's just been pretty insane. But yeah, I really want to start off by saying I am so grateful for every single one of you. All of your support, your comments, your love, your likes have they've just made me so happy, and I am beaming with pride and joy. And anyways, I should stop rambling and get to the video. But point of the story, I love you all so much and thank you. But yeah, we've finished the shell pretty quickly. I had a very clear idea for this Victorian style house, and of course very dark, very gothic. So for that I used a lot of Get Together, a little bit of Castle Estate, and obviously from the vampire expansion pack, or the vampire game pack, clearly had some vampire items. And this was very fun to do because I feel like a lot of the vampire items you can't really use too often because it is very gothic and very specific. So I don't know, yeah, it was just kind of a fun little exercise, let's call it. Yeah, just a fun little exercise. And I just really love the contrast between this vampire house and our fairy house, because the fairy house is all like light and green and just like super soft, and this one is just like the emo sister of that house, which I love. And we're jumping into the interior. I worked at the floor plan. I think it was very easy. It's a very small space, so you don't really have a lot of options for layout. And I managed to do like a little entryway, a kind of hallway living room, and of course our little kitchen dining. And I was trying to make the outside a little bit more interesting because to me it just felt a little bit flat, especially because with the floor trim that we're using, I don't know, it just made the top part look a little bit too long. Later on in post-production, I end up adding those flower boxes that you probably saw like at the beginning, the beginning clip. But yeah, I definitely like could notice that there was an issue there now. And for the kitchen, we're using the counters from the Realm of Magic game pack. And for the appliances, I end up using the stove from Realm of Magic as well, but then the fridge is actually just base game. And I don't actually remember if vampires have to like cook in order to eat, because they're pretty much just supposed to like suck the Sims' blood or something. But it is at least here for decoration, for, you know, in case they're trying to somehow hide the fact that they're vampires, even though this is a super vampiric house. But yeah, over here in the dining area, I ended up using a table from the For Rent expansion pack, which I really loved, and I used those chairs from the vampire game pack. And I am very heavily using purple here. The vampire game pack has a lot of purple. It has kind of a whole set that has a lot of purple items, and I just really loved it. I really wanted to go into that theme. I don't think that I've ever, I don't know, I don't really get to go into like this much of a purple theme very often, if ever, so it was just kind of fun, especially to make it all matching with the vampire items. And of course, I like totally understand if this is a little bit too purple or too matching. I did try to like cut it up a little bit with some black and white items. For the curtains, as you can tell in the dining area, I used the curtains from Paranormal. The ones from Vampire, there's these ones for like double windows that work really nicely, but the ones for single windows are only for like medium height walls, so I wasn't able to use them here, so instead I used these Paranormal ones. And then yeah, so I cut it up with a lot of black and white, and of course this little love seat is it's just like a cream color, which I thought kind of warmed up the space, brightened it up a little. And again, using one of the surfaces from the For Rent expansion pack. I just really love their items. I think that they're really cute and classic, and yeah, I just kind of like this one that had like I really liked the legs from it, and also the kind of like cut off corners were really cute. And of course adding a lot of candles as well. Over here they felt a little bit too overpowering, so I actually end up placing some flowers instead. I do place a lot of roses, so much so that I've actually like incorporated it as a theme in this house, which is why I also made the flower boxes red, because I felt like they were supposed to be roses. I think a lot of the like landscaping items from vampires is like called like it's like rose bushes and stuff, so I just felt like that would be really cute. And this house ends up having 3 floors because downstairs I put like the coffins and things, and I really love that I actually get to fit this organ. It might look a little bit stuffy, but I did play test it, and your Sims can walk past it and they can also play the organ with no problem. And probably annoy all of their neighbors with that very loud organ. But I just thought it was really cute, and I never placed that because why would I? Like, my normal Sims houses don't need organs. And over here in the entryway, I actually really like it for like the armchair. I actually just use that dining chair because it's big enough to kind of look like an armchair, but it's a little bit easier to fit in that space. And I do also put a mirror above the entryway table, which I guess technically vampires can't see themselves in mirrors, but in case they have guests who want to look good, they can use the mirror. And again, it's kind of like they're trying to pretend that they're not vampires, so they're just like, oh yeah, we're normal people, we have mirrors. Although I guess technically if they have a mirror and like somebody sees them walk by it and not show a reflection, that would probably like tip them off. I guess that's a little bit of a plot hole, but it's a Sims, so let's ignore that. And over here next to the back door, I think I just end up placing a hutch. I was wanting to use this one from Crystal Creations, but it was a little bit too chunky, so I actually ended up using one from Base Game, which is very fancy. And I also put some umbrellas at the back door. I put umbrellas at the front door and the back door because I guess if it's sunny out and your vampire wants to go outside, they probably need to use an umbrella so that they don't burn. And upstairs, we are going to be making 1 primary bedroom and 1 bathroom. The bathroom is so cute. I actually really love it. I put like the shower tub combo kind of like in that little bay window area, so you have like all of the windows around it, and it looks very fancy and very cute. And I think I also end up putting like an ottoman in the middle of the room too, so it looks even more fancy. But yeah, I really love this bathroom. It is like so luxurious and like classic and traditional, and of course fully functional, but I also don't remember if vampires need to use the bathroom. I need to play with vampires, I think, more often. Let me know if you guys play with vampires often, because I generally don't really use the occults, but I mean, obviously this entire like townhouse village or townhouse complex, it makes me want to use them more often, but I'd love to know if there's something that you guys play with. Maybe in like Sims 3 I played with occults more, but in The Sims 4 they're usually kind of glitchy, so I think that's why I also don't play with them that often. But if we get fairies, I think maybe I'll get into it again. And we are going to be turning this little corner of the bedroom into a kind of office space. So I placed some bookshelves from the Realm of Magic game pack, and I use this desk from Paranormal Stuff, which is my favorite desk in the whole wide world. And of course I put a typewriter because it has to be very vintage, very classic. Since vampires live like forever, then it's probably their like original typewriter from way back when. And over here under the bed, I'm trying to find a rug. I think in the end, I actually end up removing this circular one, and I just copy the same one that I put in the like in the desk area. So I just use the same one twice, but you can't really tell because the bed is so big, so you can't actually see the middle, so it just kind of looks like it's the same color. And over here between the doors, I had originally put the wardrobe, but you see me switching it now, and I think it looks way better. Yeah, it's a really nice bedroom. Like, I actually like it a lot. It's kind of sad that the vampires won't use it because they'll mostly be using the coffins downstairs. But yeah, it's very purple, very matching with the rest of the house. I actually end up making the basement like a red instead of a purple so that it's not identical to this, but I don't know, it's still all very cute, and I love it all very much. And over here on the shelves, you'll see me cluttering it up a little bit. It actually doesn't take me as long as it usually takes me to clutter shelves and stuff. I think it was very easy to find items that fit here, or I guess I just didn't really have that many options. And oh my goodness, I love this little like neck stand from the Crystal Creations pack. It felt so funny and perfect to place in a vampire's bedroom, just like a random neck for some reason. I just thought it was kind of cool, on brand. And yeah, just finishing up that clutter. I love the way it looks. And over here in the hallway, I actually end up putting a chess table, just like base game items, base game chess table, base game chairs. And I think I end up, using that blue rug to kind of cut up the matchy monotone colors. And we're working on the basement now. As you saw, the first thing I did was place a black wallpaper on the outside so that it kind of blends into the basement more. And yeah, we're going to be working on our little coffin room. Here is the red that I was talking about. And I decided to place a wall there as kind of like a little column to make that entrance feel a little bit more grand. Yeah, just because it kind of frames it better. And over here, we are going to be placing a little kind of living room, little sitting area that maybe when the upstairs is a little bit too bright, they will just relax down here. And I also create another kind of little indent like off to the side. You'll see me do that now, just again to kind of create these more framed areas. And I really love that fireplace, and I don't get to use it that often, so it was really fun to use it here. And I don't know if it's like fire safe to have a fireplace in the basement, but it looks really nice, and it's The Sims, so that is all that matters. And I am such a big fan of the armchair that I placed to the left of the fireplace. It is from the Horse Ranch expansion pack, and I don't know, it just felt also very kind of spooky to have like the covered furniture. I don't really know why people cover their furniture. I guess it's to keep the dust off. But yeah, it just made it look a little bit more ancient. And yeah, I place a bookshelf down here. I place a little violin next to the armchair, which I love too. And just placing some more flowers, giving it a bit more ambiance. And yeah, just creating this really cozy sitting area. I really love this. Oh yeah, I also placed that moon petal from, I think it's the Werewolves pack. Yeah, in that like glass thing. I thought it was so creepy, and I don't know, it just like, it was cool. I really love that piece. But now we are going to be decorating a little bit more of our like little bedroom here. This is the only place that I actually put cobwebs in. I don't know why. I maybe imagine that this place is like colder, which maybe brings more cobwebs. I don't really know. Or maybe like since nobody goes in here besides them, then they don't really clean it that often. I just wanted to make this room in particular like way creepier than any other part of the house. But yeah, it was really easy to decorate, and I think in post-production I do that a little bit more. Out here we are going to be making a little backyard, and I thought this was really cool for the planters, which I placed the planters because the vampires can actually grow these things called plasma trees, which gives them plasma fruit. So if they don't have a sim to drink from, they can just eat the plasma fruit. But yeah, I decided to put those trees out there, and as kind of like plant markers, like, I don't know, like organizers, you know those signs that tell you what plant or what each plant is, as kind of plant markers. I've decided to put those gravestones. It took a long time to get to my point, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool and made it look really creepy. And I don't think that anybody's buried under there, but it just like, I don't know, it just kind of looked creepy and cool. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. And over here we are going to be working on our little entryway. And oh yeah, I found a sundial from Get Together, and I thought it would be kind of cool to put in the backyard. Just, you know, they're kind of checking the time, checking if it's a little bit sunny. And I also found this gnome that looks like the Grim Reaper, which felt really like also on brand for that creepiness, kind of like dead thing. And I put it on this base game chair to kind of, I don't know, greet the guests, or maybe keep the guests away, being like, if you come in here, you'll die. oh, it would be fun to trick or treat in this neighborhood for sure. And I really didn't know what to do with the entryway, like decoration wise. So yeah, I actually took one of the vampire plants and I sized down one of our base game planters and kind of created our own little custom plant. And yeah, just trying to find things to put on the outside to make it a little bit more visually interesting, not so boring. And starting off with some terrain paint now as well. On the outside, I do some landscaping, but I actually end up changing all of the landscaping in post-production because it was a little bit too lush and green. I usually do this like very, you know, all the bushes and stuff like that, but it definitely like doesn't match the aesthetic that we're going for here. This is like too much life and we were going a little bit more for death. So yeah, I end up changing the entire thing. I think I was just kind of at like my end for my creativity. I was so like full of things going on, but we are finally, oh my gosh, at these screenshots, and I love the final result. I love all the extra little details that I added, all of the dead plants. I'm so glad that I changed that. And of course all of our flower boxes, it totally like cuts through like the very, very dark aesthetic, and it gives us a little bit more I don't know, a little bit more to look at, and imagining that the roses is so, so wonderful. But in here in our entryway, I also added some urns. I don't know if it's the urns of the people that live here, but, or maybe they're just decorative. Let's hope they're decorative. But yeah, I thought those looked really cool. And here in our living room, I think I just placed, I don't remember if I placed that tea set before or after I finished recording. And of course our hallway, I also placed on the organ a little rose, and I also placed some radiators around because I imagine that the vampires are very, very cold. And here in the kitchen, I think that the only thing that I added that weird skull, and I think I just added an extra chair because originally I had only placed 3 chairs, but I added that extra one. And over here in the bathroom, I think all I did was add the radiator. I just love this bathroom so much. It's so, so fancy. And here we have our bedroom. I'm still quite sad that the Sims can't actually use this bedroom, but worst case scenario, they could probably turn it into a very fancy guest room. But I love this little space. I don't know if you saw those purple flowers on the desk. Those ones are actually like an unlockable base game item, but they worked so perfectly in here. I was so happy when I found them, and I love when that happens. And here we have our living room, our dungeon living room, like a little slice of cozy warmth in our cold basement. But yeah, I'm so happy with this one. Probably my favorite room in the house. Yeah, I'm just like really proud of how it turned out, all the candles and everything. And here we have our coffin room, creepiest room in the house. This one also, I'm so happy with like the tapestries and that grandfather clock that I added. Yeah, just completed this entire space in the best possible way. Yeah, it doesn't even, you can't even tell that there's coffins in this. And of course our lovely little yard. I love the sun beating down on the stone there. But this is going to be the last space that we see. And if you missed my post, I will be seeing you all next Sunday. But I hope you enjoyed this build. Bye buds, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Comment and share with your friends. Talk to y'all soon. Bye!